Sports Illustrated, Washington State quarterback Tyler Hilinski, who took his own life last January, had chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE. That is a very serious brain disease. Joining us on the phone right now, Furness. And you interviewed the family, Ian, and they, at that time, were really struggling to find answers as to why Tyler would do this. Is CTE something that was discussed, and what do you think this discovery means for the family in gaining some understanding?
Well, Bill, I think there's some really important things to look at here. When we sat down with Kim Hilinski, Tyler's mother, and Kelly Hilinski, his older brother, about a month and a half ago for our stories, they knew that this report, they'd already received the letter from the Mayo Clinic. We did not talk about CTE specifically. We talked about cause and what do you think happened, and we used the word why on a number of occasions. But the letter that was SI had and printed and showed was dated back in March. I think it's really important, and this is, you know, we live in a world of headlines and 140 characters these days. It's really important to look at what the letter says, because I asked Kim Hilinski a couple of different times. I said, do you blame football? You know, do you blame, repeated hits to the head? Are we concerned with it? And she says, I don't blame football. And we have a story we're going to run in August before the college football season begins. And she talks about that specifically, and the brother Kelly talks about it too. In that letter from the Mayo Clinic, it says that he suffered from, and I'm reading right from the letter, an early, mild stage 1 CTE. Early, mild stage 1. The headline is CTE. My point is this, Bill, we just don't know enough about this disease to know how many people even have this. How many people walking around have an early stage 1 mild version of CTE from whatever sport they might be playing or whatever activity. So it's a great, salacious headline this morning, but again, the danger is, you know, do they know? No, they don't know. That's why they started Hilinski's Hope, because we need to study mental illness. Okay.
Now, he did not have a documented history of concussions. We know that repeated hits to the head can have some long-term impacts. No,
absolutely.
Now, football taking a lot of heat in general for the impact of players' heads, concussion, CTE. And Liz brought up a great point earlier. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how the game evolves over the next several decades because of the dangers that we're now starting to realize about it. What do you think?
Well, I think it's already started to evolve. I think we've already seen huge strides in how, and the game itself can always get better. I mean, I'm going to sound like a proponent for the game itself, but the game can get better. Every game can get better, but equipment is better today than it was 5, 10 years ago. It's better today than it was 1 year ago in terms of helmets. We have a company here in Seattle working with the University of Washington that is making huge strides in making sure helmets are better. The diagnosis of concussions is becoming more and more consistent. It's also becoming better in terms of people are a lot more careful where they weren't 5 or 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 years ago. You know, and I think that's the thing, is we can always be better at anything we do, and with the medical advances, technology advances, I worry about all sports, Bill, not just football.
Sure.
I mean, we've got hockey coming here. You're a hockey player.
Yeah.
How many times you get banged into the boards, into the glass, in your head?
Way too many to count.
Exactly. And so I think I mean, I know when I was doing hockey play-by-play for many years, I know some young men that had devastating concussions and huge injuries in terms of head injuries. They're fine today. I know others that are struggling that didn't seem to have that many hits. The point is this: we just don't know. We just have to do more and more research, and that's why Hilinski's Hope is such an important part of what they're doing.
Furness from Seahawks Game Day. Pleasure to have you, sir.
Thank you.